Here at the Nerd Fandemic, we pride ourselves on openness and transparency. So to start off, I've got a little confession to make. I've actually failed as a gamer.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Now, I know what you're thinking, that might be a little bit of an extreme statement to make, but as someone who's been gaming now for probably around about 25 years, there are so many of the big franchises that I haven't even touched. So this video is going to break down a couple of those franchises, the reasons why I haven't got around to play them, and yeah, in some cases I already own some of those games. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button because it means a lot and helps the channel grow, and we would really appreciate it.
영식이 너 어떤 생각하지 말어. 어?
Okay, so the first franchise that we've got for today is the Final Fantasy series. Now I know what you're thinking, this series has been around since the 90s. There's 16 mainline titles as well as God knows how many spin-offs. But for some reason, I've never properly dived into it. Now, I have played one of them, and it was Final Fantasy 13, I believe, on the Xbox 360. But the trouble I had with that was, for some reason, this game would just give me headaches. Like, I would sit down and I'd heard all these good things. I'd heard other people at school, I think, even talking about the fact that they liked Final Fantasy. I'd put the game in the tray, and within 10 minutes, I feel like as if someone had just bashed me over the head. I don't know why it used to do that, but I do wonder if maybe things would be different now if I went back and tried them. Especially considering that I do actually own the Pixel remasters for PlayStation. I managed to get a hold of that relatively cheap. If you've looked at the used prices of that in CEX, it's like 60 quid, but somehow managed to get an English French copy for under 40. One day I should get involved because that's the first 6 games and I feel like I'm missing out. I also asked some of the guys in the group, and Darchon Clicks, Daz, he has played through a few of them and does actually quite like them. The other two haven't touched them at all, so thankfully it's not just me in that situation, which is good to know. The second franchise that we're going to cover today is Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, this one feels a little bit crazy as well, and it's maybe not strictly true, but I also don't have any memory of this, but it's a franchise that's sold over 180 million units today. They've even now got films coming out, which, you know, I've seen the first one. I know that there's a couple now. I quite enjoyed the first one for what it's worth. I thought it was pretty good, but haven't even seen them and haven't really played any of the games, though apparently I do own this. Sonic Heroes. No idea. I don't know where I got it from. I don't know where it's came from, but it's there. I have also heard some chat that the newer games are a little bit hit and miss. So, you know, comment down below if I was to ever get involved. What game would you even suggest is worthwhile? Is Sonic Heroes the one that I already own? Is that actually a good place to start? Who knows? The other guys. And only one of them could come up with an answer from this, and that was Saunders, who has gave me this quote to read for y'all. The difficulty I've got with remembering Sonic is that I'm taking myself back to the late 20th century and getting a hand-me-down Sega Mega Drive, although it may not have been my standout favourite game from back then. I do remember hours and hours on Sonic and Sonic 2 collecting those gold rings. Maybe it's time for me to delve back in as he gets back involved in gaming. At least one of us has a recollection of it. But the late 19th century, Christ, we are old. Now, this one in particular is quite relevant to the fact that everyone's getting quite invested into the second season of the TV show, which, if I've heard how that's supposed to go, and there's people watching that who don't watch it for anything other than Pedro Pascal and haven't played the games, I suspect they're going to be upset, and that is The Last of Us. Now, I believe that I own the first one digitally, and I definitely own the second one on PS4, but I haven't touched it. And the reason why was I ended up getting it like sort of pre-owned on the cheap for the first one, never really played it, and I ended up just watching like a YouTube video of all the different cinematics and cutscenes, and slightly controversially, I didn't like the ending. For me, Joe should not have stopped her if she was going to be the cure that was going to sort. Anyway, I won't digress, I won't get into that, it's okay. However, I have heard that the second one in particular is a bit of a masterpiece in terms of storytelling, and I know that they've remastered it about 1 million times at this point, to the point where there's now like this like remaster super duper collection that's came out recently that I think everyone just kind of bought immediately because it just had some cool goodies in it. So yeah, let me know, should I ever get involved in this and should I actually sit down to play them properly? I don't know if the gameplay, the first one's ever going to quite grab me, but I know certainly the story was decent from what I've seen, and I've heard the second one does at least improve on that, which is good. I asked the guys in the group, and 2 of them haven't played either. One of them's played the first one, I believe, on PC when it came to PC, but yeah, we are kind of Xbox guys.
We're Costco guys. Boom! Boom!
Or were for the longest point until we all started getting PCs, so I guess that's not that surprising. Last franchise we're going to cover today is the critically acclaimed, like everyone loves this franchise as far as I'm aware, is Metal Gear Solid. Now, the reasons why I have never touched this was when I was younger I was never allowed the sort of like 12, 15, 18 rated games until the PS2 kind of stopped being the mainline thing and the PS3 and the Xbox 360 came out, right? So I then switched from PS2 to Xbox 360 and kind of missed out on some of these, even though they did start coming out for those consoles. So because of that, I then just kind of missed that initial hype. But I have kind of rectified things recently in the fact that I have the ability to play 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 all on the PlayStation now. So at some point I will have to dive in and play these. It's stealth though, and one thing you will probably learn throughout the course of this channel is that me and stealth don't tend to work. I tend to be the guy that either tries to go stealthy, makes a complete mess of it, and has to go in all guns blazing, or I just go all guns blazing from the start because that is just easier.
My gun.
Oh.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang!
Wow.
Bang! Well, I don't see so good, so I missed. Then they ran away. I ran after them.
Okay.
Bang!
Thankfully though, it's not just me that hasn't played it. I believe that both Saunders and Darren, or Darchon Collects, have not played it. I know though that Craig is a massive fan of the series and loved it when he was younger, so has actually been pushing me a lot to play these.
Let me help you try it.
And maybe one day I will get involved, because I think he would probably find it quite interesting. I think you guys would as well, to see what on earth, what nonsense would go down when I try and play that. Thank you very much for watching the video, guys, and from all of us at the Nerd Fandemic, happy gaming.